All in all, I haven't got the Bluetooth today because it's a pain, it's a nightmare. So, hello, have you missed me? Yeah, sorry I didn't do last week. And I had some complaints, believe it or not. Give me banana. Which is, sorry. Didn't realise I had to, I had to placate, big word, placate. Let's wait for 31 seconds for all the riffraff to leave. Like they've gone. Never liked them anyway. I thought they could get away with wearing clothes like that. I never liked them. Glad they're gone. Right, let's get on with it. Oh yeah, so, you know, the usual. Loads of records. Got some sevens to go through. And normal stuff. You know, normal dirge. So I get my face too close to these things. And then some collectibles at the back. And I'm using the iPad today, so I'll try and put the time thing up on it, because I think that'll waste. Because what happens is, I have people come in the shop and they tell me, oh, watch your videos, but I don't listen to you because you're annoying. So what I do is, I turn the sound off, and then go to when you're doing the flick through. And that's reasonable, that's fair enough. So if you do watch this, and you are watching it with sound, and you see me messing about during the actual flick through, just to wind up the people who are, you know, watching it with the sound turned off. It won't be funny, it won't be clever, it'll probably just be annoying to everybody. But you know, if you're watching these videos and you've already watched them before, you know they're basically pretty annoying, and it's just, you know, a mechanism for me to get things off my chest. Right, I've got my glasses a bit. Who's been watching I spoke about this before, but who's been watching Last of Us? Last of Us? Absolutely traumatising telly, innit? It's great, but it's completely traumatising. So I've been juxtaposing it. Juxtaposing is another big word. Got that from Polytechnic. Juxtapose is a sort of word that you'd throw in an essay thinking you're really clever. It's probably the most overused word, that and therefore. And the phrase, it can be said. I'm not a lecturer, right, or a teacher, but I can imagine if someone put in an essay, it can be said, you put, well, that's, yeah, of course it can be said, but why are you saying it, you idiot? It's tautological, isn't it? It's another big word. Ugh. Words. Polytechnic. There we go. All right. Oh yeah, Last of Us. So juxtaposing it with watching something completely light, and just to kind of, you know, just completely different, the opposite end of the scale. I thought, what do I watch? What comedies are there? And I started to watch a few modern comedies, and I thought, ugh. And then I was on Netflix, and I stumbled across Benidorm. So I'd never seen it before, and so I started watching that, and I thought, looks quite old, and it's from like the early 2000s, isn't it, or something? But that's made me laugh. So I'm going season 1 of The Last of Us and season 1 of Benidorm. It's funny. It's really funny. Right, so we'll probably start at 4 minutes on this. I'll get into the flip through. No coffee this morning. Cup of tea. I mean, I'll talk about things like you know, at the end. We'll mess about gigs starting in at the end of May. I thought I had a poster to show you, but it hasn't come on me. I'll have to show you it on my phone. Okay, hello, welcome to the flick through. If you just joined at this point, and if you just joined with no sound, then okay. Loads of sevens, some cool sevens. So it's stuff like Blondie, Human League. Anybody here like the Human League? Always going to do that joke. Japan. Trojan. Got some Trojan. Not everything crazy festival, but some cool stuff. This nearly went in the jukebox. And it's got the sideboard song on the back. Remember that one? That's cool. It nearly went on the jukebox, and I thought, yeah. The problem with what I've learned is probably with putting comedy songs in the jukebox is it gets pretty pretty boring pretty quick, you know what I mean? The jokes can really wear off pretty quick. So I'm just putting cool tunes in. Bob is already, I think, about to jump through the window if I play Baker Street another time. Bit too much. Brazillos. Kate Bush. Did you know an anagram of Kate Bush is scuba tar? You do now. Do anagrams need to be proper words? Not in my shop. Echo and the Bunnymen. Bit of French. Francois Hardy. There's a cool CD. I'll put it in maybe put it in my recommendations. But there's a cool CD. In fact, we'll just sorry about me big head being in the way. I'll knock this out of the way. This is a great record. Compilation of French singers from the sorry about that. From the 60s, 70s. Brilliant. If that's your sort of thing, get that. You can probably get it on streaming. U2, The Sound of the Police, Whoop Whoop, Rush, some Rush singles, and then these are all Jam singles, I'm pretty sure. Jam. I think that's German. German Jam. What's German for jam? Is it like Die Jam or something? Something like that. 1v3. This is Our Lips Are Sealed, and on the B-side is it in Urdu. It's cool. It's really good. Inclusivity in the early 80s. Love it. Right, I'm going to eat me banana. Bananas. Breakfast of champions, eh? But I don't you peel your bananas? It's important insight. That's what we talk about on this channel. That's what I talk about. I don't open it that end. Open it that end. I don't know. I think that's how the monkeys do it, don't they? They open it at the other end, because I think this end doesn't work properly or snaps properly, and quite frankly I put my trust more in primates, monkeys, even, than humans. What? Enough of that. Oh, sorry. Important update. I learned that it's not hamsters that get upset by the dinging of the thing. It's guinea pigs. But that's okay, because, you know, guinea pigs are vermin, aren't they? So don't care about them. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Where did guinea pigs come from? You know, do you see them in the wild? Anyway, wild guinea pigs. I'm pretty sure they supported Kraftwerk in about 1978. The wild guinea pigs. Right, Man Machine. To repress that. Tattoo You. The Stones. It's Only Rock and Roll. I always thought that was that Ruts album. What is this? It's got the Thingy Doodah in it, hasn't it? What's his face? I think he did a couple of albums. So nice. That is cool. That is on the immediate label, but super cheap. Really nice condition. Annie Lennox. Oh, look at that. Surely one of the, you know, the most self-confident album covers. It's just a big kind of, yeah, it's you. This is me. This is my music. This is my brand. Grace Jones, brilliant. Barclay James Harvest. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not listening to it. It's quite a cool cover. That's got hypognosis written all over it, hasn't it? You know, the people who do the Floyd colours. Life's a Riot. With Spy vs. Spy. Billy Bragg. Don't know what I just thought, but didn't do any of the RIPs, did we? Because it's been 2 weeks, so quite frankly, you know, most of the rock and roll fraternity is probably dead. Probably dead, aren't they? I know Chugoy died, didn't he? Out of De La Soul. AKA Dave. I say AKA, Dave's his name, but that's what he was going by more recently. Tragic. All that De La Soul stuff's it's now available on streaming, which is really cool. And it's just completely different, isn't it, than anything else that's out there. So go and give De La Soul a listen. I mean, If you like the Moody Blues. The Moody Snooze. I told it was all dirge. Unless you go out and hunt cool records out, like proper record shops do. The ones in Liverpool. You know, if you just wait for stuff to appear, then this is what comes in. Moody Blues. And Bestilia, Everly Brothers. Look at those. Woo! Global warming right there, ladies and gentlemen. I've put hair do's and hair don'ts. That's a really old joke, isn't it? I'm sure that's like a Malcolm and Wise joke, but that's funny. Mike Oldfield. Oh, honestly, there's like a million Mike Oldfield albums. God, the man doesn't talk. Somebody told me they went to see a Mike Oldfield gig. I was like, oh, great, Mike Oldfield gig. It's like a 20-piece orchestra or whatever. He wasn't even in. He didn't even turn up. I mean, I know, you can have bands, but none of the original members, like the Temptations or, I think Dr. Feelgood and them is like none of them. But actually, I've been a solo artist and then doing a gig and not being there. I mean, that's taking the Michael. It's taking the Michael, do you see? Because it's Michael. Woo! Big words, clever jokes. How did I end up doing this job? That's a long story. It's not a job. Please. Outlandish, do more. I think that means outrageous stuff. Probably. Somewhere. Cool. He's the dude. Decided to retire. Wants to live his life in anonymity, but he's a bass player of Queen, John Deacon. And, with people like me talking about him in the video. Oh, I'll tell you what I've got. I've had loads of signed Queen stuff over the years and, but this is one of the coolest. John Deacon. I never met the dude, but he's such a quiet sort of bloke that he's the most unlikely of rock stars. But he is. And he's written some of the belters. Absolute belters. I mean, not on here, not he's written some of the singles. Obviously he wrote I Wanna Break Free and he wrote You're My Best Friend, didn't he? But he wrote like what's the one off Spread Your Wings, which is off News of the World, which is absolute belting. Bowie, can't not like Bowie. But if you come in, I've got some framed pictures of like album covers, things like Bowie, Queen, Hendrix, Doors. If I think on, I'll show you, and like lyric sheets and records, and they look quite cool. They're over there. I'll show you them later. Where are we? Oh yeah, Carole King. There's quite a lot because obviously I didn't do a video last week. Tapestry, Prince. Yeah, that's what I used to look like before I discovered Space Raiders. Not a mixed race, black American, just thin. He was a genius at music. Phil Collins. Face value. That can't be 10 quid. Surely there's an extra zero being added there by mistake. Communards. I mean, the only thing I'll say about this is, because he's come up with some. He's an idiot, isn't he? But it's my opinion. And but this is the house where the Bee Gees recorded all that. What was that album they did when they started to do all that disco stuff? You know the one. But it was this house apparently. There's a cool Bee Gees documentary, isn't there? And that's on there. Barry White. Greatest hits. Can't beat a bit of Barry. Diana Ross and the Supremes. Oh, there's loads. Loads of touch. Oh yeah. Focus. Moving Waves. If you don't really know anything about Focus, you must know Hocus Pocus. Just look up Focus doing Hocus Pocus on the old grey whistle test. It's unbelievable. It's astonishing, and it's all amazing musicianship. Diana, Monty Python. These normally go in like the £2 bin, so I don't know why that's there. Manfred Mann, told you, nothing too exciting. There's like there must be like 20 billion of these records. This Buddy Holly Lives one. That and that. Beach Boys albums. Oh, so many of them. Buddy, Drifters. Insert your arc-off Uncle joke here. You see him or am I just... this is all awkward, isn't it? I don't care. I was going to do... So if you're watching, and you're watching with the sound on, because if you're watching with the sound off, you're not going to hear me do this, but I'm going to do this joke now. You ready? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Now they've turned the sound back up to work out what's going on. Just go backwards to try and be funny. Drifters. Cool, 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 cool. Blondie. Tired. What? Frankie. By Jovi. Always going to do that joke. And my things come up on the top there. 12 inches then. I've got loads of 12 inches of all sorts of stuff to come in. I'm not going to do that there's a collection coming in, because there was meant to be something really cool coming in, and that might still come in. But there was somebody came in with a collection last week, and it was, I'm not even going to mention it because he said he'd come back, and if he doesn't come back I'll be disappointed. But it was worth hundreds of pounds, and a lot of it was 12 inches. And I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. So if that comes off, you'll see it in the video next week. What's this? Oh, some stuff came in, like not the usual dirge, bit more modern. Of Montreal, Psych Rock, marble vinyl. So I think this is obviously much more recent. Of Montreal, and this is a Jaguar, big red machine. That's your thing. Come and get that. And this is Room Inside the World. I think this is all art rock, or as I've put it, post-punk postcard art rock. Mudhoney. I've never seen Mudhoney. Never seen them live, which is, I mean, a shock really, because I love them, but never got the opportunity. Sweet. I should have only done half of these, shouldn't I? Kept the other half till next week. Do you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep that stuff till next week. So we'll start off at the Paul Butterfield Blues Band. I'll do the collectibles. I'll show you these, but I'll put them in next week because I've not priced them up yet. Woo! First Press UK. Ooh! Like Grant Parsons. I mean, another one you can't not like. It's boring though, isn't it? It's a bit slow. Some collectibles. Peter Gabriel. Someone who was telling me some interesting story about Peter Gabriel yesterday. Very particular, meticulous apparently. Gets to hear all the interesting rock star stories when you work in a record shop. It's always somebody's cousin works with somebody who knows somebody who, you know, once knew his neighbour's uncle or something. That is gold vinyl. And I'm sure this has like some unreleased tracks on, doesn't it, or something. Why, this is why it's collectible. Not that I can see there. Chiquitita. No, they all look like tracks that I've heard before, so maybe not. Maybe they've remixed or something. Substance. The Joyless Division. Computer World. Ooh. UK first, but just original from that year. Spencer Davis Group. Second album. Cool. I mean, that could be from the sort of acid jazz 1990s period, couldn't it? Look how cool those guys look. The band Ocean Colour Scene wanted to be. What else? Tarkinets. UK 1978. I'll save that one till... Should I save that one till last? Yeah, why not? Daft Punk. This is one of the more modern represses, but still stupidly... Oh, say that. 2014. Reissue. Still quite collectible. UK 1977. What label's this on? I have a feeling this is on. It's EMI. So it actually is a Harvest press, but it's not the original. It's not the Harvest label. You know, the green one, the green and yellow thing. But still original from that era. Near mint, very nice. Thick as a brick. The opening, big newspaper, jobby. Got a bit of wear to the sleeve, but the vinyl is super duper. So only 30 quid on that one. A repress on the Simply vinyl. I don't know what's two prices on that. Near mint. I was probably price in the shop and price online, so you could do it a bit cheaper in the shop. Know what I mean? Ramones, It's Alive. This is an original 1979 impression of it, and it's absolutely beautiful. It looks unplayed. I think clearly someone's got it. Thought I don't really want to listen to the Ramones live, and they just stuck it on their shelf. 1973 UK re-release of The Dead. American Beauty. Everybody loves those original Dead posters and all those kind of posters from the 60s, don't they? They're cool, but I prefer the 60s ones, you know, the kind of where they did all the groups together on the package stores. I prefer those kind of, they're really cool. I know someone's got some of them. Where's the absolute fortune? Warren Zevon's first album. That's a great album, and that's really near mint, and that's just over 20 quid. That's a bargain. Come and get that. You get loads of these, and they're good. They're great to pick up. If you get a good copy, they're brilliant. But that's the coloured vinyl one. And Warren Zevon. Oh yeah. Second press. The first press is absolutely really hard to get hold of. And this came in the shop, and actually I knew I was buying it, and I was gonna wanted a really cheap copy, and just wanted a cheap copy just playing in the shop, and I bought it online, and they sent it to me, and I thought it was like some like repressing, and they sent it to me, and they obviously didn't know the fact that it was an original on Vertigo second pressing. So I thought, oh, well, I can't keep hold of it. I better put it in the shop. The cover is phenomenal. And I was playing it. Got 22 minutes. And I was playing it. I thought, wow, it's unbelievable. The A side is just like completely groundbreaking in it for that time. It's just the introduction of like, it's not heavy metal. It's just doom, is what it is. It's doom. And then the B side's kind of bluesy rock stuff, isn't it? Which is great, but it's the A side. Particularly the first two tracks. All right, that's that. Right. So, where did I get up to? I'll save some of them. We'll start next week at the Butterfield Blues Band. Right? Remind me. What else is there? So you can turn off now if you're not interested in me talking nonsense. What else have we got? Oh yeah, gigs at the shop lah. I feel quite tired today. I got my mojo back. Don't worry, I'll be cracking gags at the next one. Right, so look, I should have just printed this out, but on the Saturday, March 25th, can you see that? Helen Moore is playing. So, EP, signing, playing in the shop, 4 o'clock, free, and then I think I might have 2 gigs in April. I had one set up anyway, and then another band have approached me to say that they're releasing an album. Can they come and do a launch? So I think there's 2. These things are all free, but obviously come and support local music and come and buy the musician's record. So I will get a cut of that, so you'll be supporting me as well. And but just come and support local music, right? That's what it's about. Okay, that's that. What else is on my phone to do? Oh, where's Dolly? Now, where's Dolly? Should we check in to see whether the Beyond are reformed? Because this is an important feature which I know no one else cares about apart from me. But I don't really care about anybody else because this is just completely self-indulgent. This is completely self-indulgent for me. Right, so rather than me tapping away on a computer and checking on the internet to see whether they're reformed or not, why don't we just check in with international rock star and renowned super drummer and member of the Beyond himself, the drummer, Mr. Neil Cooper. beep, beep, beep. Just get them, just dial them up on my special bat phone. Hello, Neil. Right, Neil, are the Beyond going to reform? Can you tell, ladies and gentlemen, on the video?
No.
Now, he says no. He says no. I mean, I didn't feel that was definite. I don't know about you. I didn't feel that was definite, so I think there's hope. Particularly, just look at his face. It's like, please leave me alone. The band split up almost 30 years ago. Why are you doing this? Can't you just leave us alone? Nobody cares. You're wrong, mate. I care. And Jake cares. And there's a whole fan base out there. You know, in inverted commas, you know what I mean? That care. They're just a phenomenal band, and we're never gonna leave them alone until they take out some sort of injunction on us. We'll do Where's Dolly at the end, because it means I've got to walk over there, and that's effort, isn't it? And I can't really be bothered. It's like me subscriber questions piece last week. Same amount have come in this week. This is why I make stuff up at the end. Recommendations. There's so much stuff. I recommend so many great records and artists, but I mean, a lot of it you can just go and explore, can't you? If you said like French pop music, you can just go out and just find records like that. There's something on YouTube which I've been following or listening to. I like soundtracks. I like incidental music, and I like particularly like sort of 70s music. So it's like the soundtracks to Dirty Harry. Lalo Schifrin was the guy who did that. There was a guy called Quinn Martin who did. I'm sure it was Quinn Martin. I was in a band when we based it on him, or this character who created the Street San Francisco music and stuff like that. Anyway, if you go on YouTube, and look up Fraker's Revenge, Fraykers Revenge. It's called something like Lunch for Your Ears as one of them, but it's all that incidental music from those sorts of 70s TV shows and movies and things, all that soundtrack music. And then that's a way, if you get into that and you start to get into those soundtracks and then library music, it's a whole new world out there. Go check out the Johnny Drunk label if you haven't done that already. It's vast. It's great. There's some amazing music out there. Also, what else was I going to recommend? Check out Fraker's Revenge. Alain Gourageux. I don't know how you pronounce it, because, you know, I'm an ignorant English person. La Planète Sauvage. Maybe. Anyway, an amazing composer. Sadly died, but if you look up, and that was in the last couple of weeks, so if you look up La Planète Sauvage, Sauvage, right? La Planète Sauvage. It's my best Ted Heath French impression, more for the teenagers. So look up that soundtrack. That is an amazing piece of music, and it's being used an awful lot and being referenced an awful lot by more modern musicians. And it's not being clever or anything. These are all pieces of music that don't really get the recognition that they deserve, and you know, people get into it. I think it's good to listen, basically, to people like me. Listen to that. That's great. So there's Alain Gourageux. I don't know how you pronounce it. Goraguer, The Planète Sauvage. And then the other one. You're gonna see my big bald head again now, because. But music, great. Right, I bought, these are great CDs, right? So don't laugh. But they're called Working Man's Soul. And what they are, it's compilations of bands that used to play in working men's clubs. But they're all in the 70s, and they're all super talented. I mean, you would have to be super talented to keep down jobs like that. But none of these are bad. They're all amazing. And I particularly like... there's a guy on here. I mean, Eric Delaney. Eric Delaney was the drummer, wasn't he? I don't think that's the same Eric Delaney. He was like a well-famous jazz drummer, so I think it's him. But there's all sorts of crazy stuff on here from bands that are played in, you know, working men's clubs that probably you've been to or your parents have been to. There's a guy on here called Brian Sharp, Aquarius. Brian Sharp. You're gonna see my big head again. Sorry, this is. Obviously completely not prepared, and it was so good that I went out and bought the record. I just ordered it on that there Discogs, and it always makes me wonder when you buy a record that's so weird, what the people that you bought it off must think. I'm like, God, why is someone buying that? Anyway, this Lion Sharp plays mainly Hammond, right? It's this dude playing Hammond organ, and the big organs that you get at the cinema. Anyway, he does a version of Aquarius, you know, I think that's off Hair. It's nailed that musical. Absolutely just knocks it out of the park. It's just, there's some drum breaks in there, which, it knocks the funky drummer into a cocked hat, is what I'm going to tell you. Listen to all that stuff. Make recommendations to me. I get people coming in the shop and they're like, the bell doesn't work, fucking does it? I think I've got a faulty bell. Well, the end of it's faulty. Woohoo! You set your own joke there. Right, let's end on Where's Dolly? So, thank you for the people who've guessed. Believe it or not, there were a couple. You got it wrong. The aim of Where's Dolly, walking around the shop. I haven't got my hat on, but it is cold, so I probably will put my hat on. So, Where's Dolly? Right, the aim is, I put Dolly Parton 9 to 5 in the jukebox. Listen to that transformer humming. It's basically saying, play Dolly. Right, so what you got to do is, you've got to guess where it is and you win some sort of prize. So, you just got to give me a letter and a number, because when you pick a record in the jukebox, it's like, you know, A1, right? Simple as that. And it goes from A through to V, and it goes 1 through to 0. Okay? So there's no W, X, Y, or Z. Simple as that. And you pick, and it can be an A or a B side. So you pick one, and if you win, you're amazing. That's it. Where are we? 31. Right, we're done. So I'll try and get this posted. I hope you have a nice weekend. Come down the shop. Be nice to one another. And, you know, buy records. No Bluetooth. I'm not going to mess about. I'm just going to press the button. Bye.